Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Echo. We're coming at you magnificent Monday, July 13th. Going to kick the week off with a good thought today. This weekend I had the chance to watch one of my favorite Western miniseries. Lonesome Dove is the name of it, and I'm sure many of you have seen it. If you haven't, it's a great family feature that you can watch, and sort of a Louis L'Amour type of a Western film. Got some really great acting from Tommy Lee Jones and Robert Duvall. But I want to talk a little bit about an important message that I think is in that movie that I believe has gotten lost in the 20th century now and in our time era. It's a story of really two gentlemen, the captain and Gus, these two older guys, and the captain's name is Woodrow also. And Woodrow's bored. They live in Texas, and he's really sick and tired of living in this place called Lonesome Dove, and he has this idea to go up into Montana and to drive cattle up there. And it's a trip of about 3,000 miles, and during this time we get to meet a lot of characters. There's a lot of things that occur. People die on the road. There's just a lot of different things that occur. Well, as they get up into Montana, these two older guys separate as one goes towards Yellowstone, and Gus is the individual that goes this route, and he ends up getting shot with some arrows by some of the native Indians up there, and eventually dies because of infection. And before his death, he has the captain, or Woodrow, promise him that he will be buried back in Lonesome Dove. And Woodrow tries to, get him to change his mind, because that's a long way, 3,000 miles. He says, well, what about this place? What about this place? There's a lot of places we can have you buried. But that's really where he wants to be buried. So he goes ahead and passes on. And Woodrow cannot take him at that time because winter has come upon them. And so he leaves him in the place that he dies, says, I'll be back in the spring to pick him up. And it highlights towards the end of the film as he takes his best friend and he hauls him back 3,000 miles. And many people, why are you doing this? They think he's crazy. You don't have to do this. And he continually says, but I said I would, and I gave him my word that I would. And there's a lot of this we see in this movie. And I think the generation, I know my father's generation and his father, there weren't contracts. There weren't a lot of things that we have today, because I believe one of the things that we struggle with today is our word. And I would challenge all of us as we move forward that when we say we're going to do something, we do it. Sometimes that means that we don't say we're going to do something. If we really do not feel like we are committed to that particular task or something, it's at that point we are fully honest and disclose fully, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But if we say that we're going to do something, even simple little things, and I think sometimes as parents, children ask us to do things, and we say without thinking sometimes, you bet, I'll be there, or I'll do this. And then when for some reason we don't show up, in our hearts it wasn't a huge commitment. But to that child or to that person who was counting on us so much, it was a promise. And many times children will say, well, you promised me. So I think that if we could work on one thing, I know in my own life I can do this. It says we go through this week to work on commitments. Your word is your bond. And I think integrity is when we say we're going to do something, is we stick to that. And we could take it one step further. Have integrity within yourself to keep commitments to yourself. We've talked about this. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get up every day at a certain time. Keeping that promise to yourself will allow us to keep our word to the others that we come in contact with on a daily basis. As we start to keep those little small commitments to ourselves, we'll be able to keep much bigger commitments to ourselves, and we'll be able to show up in the lives of other people when they need us because we said we would. So as you go forward, think about this. Have a magnificent Monday. We will be coming back at you tomorrow on Tremendous Tuesday. As always, thanks for taking time to watch the Daily Echo.